Hello, everyone. Grover Cleveland, award-winning shapeshifter here, and you're watching Inktober on Ink the Book Show, brought to you by Ghosts. Hello. You can follow Ryan O'Connor at Wrangleshank on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Twitter. And if you like his Inktober drawings or his work on the Bonehead comic, you can also watch his Bonehead cartoon on YouTube. The link to all these things and more can be found in the description. Furthermore, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to all things Wrangleshank and all things Ink the Book. Thank you. Ah.
It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book. Oh, hello, everybody. I'm Ryan O'Connor on Ink the Book Show. It's a late one. It's like 9:30. It's almost too late. It's kind of basically too late. Oh, look at this fake hair. Today did not go how I planned, but that's the problem with plans. They often go awry. Let's get into this drawing. This one is Ego. I thought of a mad scientist. I probably drew this drawing a million times. I'm so burnt out on Inktober. I really am. But here's today's. Tomorrow's is snack. Oh, by the way, here's Sweaty Smetty. Hi. with their what do you call those emojis I don't recognize. Here, I'm gonna put some light here. Let's adjust this. Ooh, how you doing, Sweaty? I need a pen that I can draw with. I think I've been using that one, and I think it's I think the tip is worn out. Let's see. Ooh, if I thought that tip was worn out. Let's see, got a solid one here. This'll do. Yeah. I had this guy holding like a brain with electrodes sticking out of it at one point. But I didn't like the pose, so I redrew it. This is like him going like, it's alive! And he holds up a piece of toast. Igor slowly backs toward the fire exit. Yeah, today I was supposed to get a ton of stuff done because it was supposed to be my day off, and that didn't work out. My friend got really sick, and so I had to go in for her. So I didn't work on my costume today. I started working on some bonehead stuff, and then I needed a nap because I worked an 8-hour shift on what I thought was going to be my day off on like 3.5 hours of sleep. So I passed out for a few hours once I got home. I got home really early, but oh look, I shouldn't share this. I'm getting what do you call it? I'm getting spam from YouTube right now. As much as I want to share it, I think I shouldn't share it. It's a funny one though. It's fake dating site stuff. Let's see, this guy's wearing these goggles. Everybody's going to bed here, I think, which is a little extra early, I feel like. Well, the show must go on. I'm so close to hitting every day in October. I don't want to blow it now. So yeah, I've done a stream every day in October so far. I have kept up with Inktober so far. See, I get kind of like superstitious religious about Inktober. It's like there's like a part of me that doesn't want to like break the chain. So I was hesitant about starting it this year because I thought it would be really hard to keep up with. But also, it would be the first year in like, I think this is I don't know if this is 3 or 4 years in a row I've done Inktober. It's alive! What's alive? My pet gerbil! It's alive! Go back to bed. Keep it down or I'm calling the cops! It's his neighbor upstairs. La, 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 la. I had these at a different angle, so I kind of like I tried to make them like it's looking down, like the camera's looking down a little bit, but I kind of did that after the fact. I didn't have quite this perspective on this guy at first. So one of my favorite artists, Doug TeNapel, who hold the phone. I'll show you what I was just looking at. So he's the creator of Earthworm Jim. Yeah. Here's the first Earthworm Jim graphic novel that he put out a few years ago. What's this? It's got shiny gold edges. Look, it's signed. Here's this page opens up. What else? This is a glow-in-the-dark message behind the text on this page. You can kind of see there's like something going on. There's like glow-in-the-dark ink or whatever underneath. So Doug TeNapel, I kind of was inspired to start this channel by, well, not just Doug TeNapel, but a bunch of artists online. But he was the first that I kind of started following online on YouTube. And like years ago, because I had a few of his books and I was really interested in him. So and then I found out he had a YouTube channel. It was actually before YouTube. He was starting to do daily streams on Facebook, actually, all of a sudden. And I'd already followed him for a while. And then just one day he started like streaming himself inking a book that he actually hasn't even released yet. And then once he finished that book, shortly after, he started doing streams to YouTube every day of just drawing different stuff. And then he started inking his Bigfoot Bill book. Then he inked this book. Then he inked Bigfoot Bill 2. Then he inked Earthworm Jim 2. And then he started doing like politics and NFTs and stuff, and got kicked off of YouTube for his politics. But now, as of yesterday, he thinks he's finally gotten his YouTube channel back. So he already has continued to do politic stuff on his locals. He has a locals thing. But so I'm hoping, as a guy who doesn't really care all that much about politics, I'm hoping he goes back to making graphic novels on there and doing art on YouTube. That would be fun. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll just be me doing art on YouTube. Actually, I was just watching a live stream with this other artist I follow on YouTube named Brian Shearer, who does... He's done a bunch of Transformers books. He's done a bunch of G.I. Joe books, which I don't care about that stuff, but I found out about him a few years ago. And he also does a lot of like, I've showed off his art books on here. He does a lot of like strange, goofy art. Here, I'll show his, I'll show a couple things. So I've showed off his stuff on here before. This is the guy I was just watching stream just before I started here. He just ended a stream while I was working on my drawing. There's a spider hand. See, he does like... And he's working on a graphic novel right now on YouTube occasionally, particularly Wednesday nights, called Gunship Thunder Punch. He's working on volume 2 right now. Look at this creepy pirate guy. Yeah, but he does some like he likes doing like funny, weird stuff. Just like random monster with a tennis ball for a leg. There's this let me so he draws like weird stuff to put into his art books. Like recently he did some weird, creepy floating clown head. Like, yeah, I never cared about G.I. Joe or that's like a tank girl. G.I. Joe or Transformers. But I've learned to love his art, and he does. I always admire his like ladies, because he like never does the same hair twice. It's like always different, and he always makes them so beautiful. These are like all redheads as I'm saying that. Let's see. Like, and I like watching him color his drawings on YouTube, on his YouTube channel. Oh, here's a cool one. He's got all these robot heads. Here's some monster heads. I like when he does weird stuff. There's Hello Nurse from Animaniacs, Link, Dude Man from They Live, Macho Man Randy Savage, Columbo, Peter Falk, and I don't know what Mazinger Z is. Mermaid. Some kind of thing. Here's some Transformers. Okay, so here's his Gunship Thunder Punch book. This is volume 1. Signed. He's working on volume 2 right now, which you can back on Indiegogo. Indiegogo, Gunship Thunder Punch. I think if you go to getthisart.com, you can back and get Gunship Thunder Punch 1 and 2, and that should be, that campaign I think is closing fairly soon. It's about this woman, her son is kidnapped by Martians, so she steals a transforming gunship to go save him. And she kind of enlists this crew of criminals to kind of assist her. So here's Gunship Thunder Punch. Yeah, so we're waiting for volume 2 right now. It's pretty good. All right, that's enough of that. I got work to do. But those are the guys I watch. That I always like to watch live stream their art. My camera's messing with me. Sorry, I was running into it with my pen. Okay, so. Is this? I think I'm going to make these panels all black. Just make it nice and simple. Oh, I think it's my first cup of tea for the day. Maybe it's my second. I might have had one before I took a nap. I had made some ground pork rice bowl things earlier with peppers and onions. That was really good. I get that HelloFresh stuff. The problem is trying to keep up with it. I almost can't cook them as fast as I get them delivered. I hate throwing food out. So I gotta cook my little heart out some weeks. Yeah, so my intention was to get a ton of work done on I was gonna work more on Bonehead, And I wanted to get a big chunk of my Halloween costume done today because I don't have much time, until I need that for my family's Halloween party, where we always have this Halloween costume contest. And my brother and sister-in-law, they always go like above and beyond and with their kids and make these like, they look like the Broadway musical version of whatever they're doing. They've gone as Willy Wonka and like Oompa Loompas, and my sister-in-law was Violet, all violet. There was another time they went as Up, the characters from Up. There's another time they went as the Wizard of Oz. They were all the characters from the Wizard of Oz. And last year they were the Gremlins. They were all Gremlins, and it was just like, you're insane. Just like, she should really document this stuff and then go get a job working for like the costume department for NBC or something. NBC. That's oddly specific. But I was telling somebody today. And then there was one year where the kids, see, they didn't want to spoil their Halloween costumes a couple years, so, and they had multiple Halloween parties to go to, so they had like 2 sets of costumes, and then the kids were like going trick-or-treating door to door as Transformers, and so they'd like walk around looking like the robots, and then when they wanted to transform, they would crouch down and they would look like cars. And then I was telling one of my friends that, and she's like, oh yeah, I saw something like that on Pinterest. And I was like, it's funny you say that, because one time my sister-in-law was throwing a party for one of her boys' birthday, was throwing one of their birthday parties, and I said to my brother, I was like, and she always goes above and beyond with those two and makes them real elaborate and themed and stuff. And I said to my brother, I was like, man, look at all this stuff she does. She's so creative. And my brother looks at me, he's like, come on, this has Pinterest written all over it. So I guess she gets all her ideas from Pinterest. But, I mean, she executes, you know what I mean? And she finds the time of day. That's the most mind-bending thing. As somebody who tries to spend as much of his time doing creative things as possible, it blows my mind how much she accomplishes for that stuff. But in any case, I'm trying to beat her specifically. this costume contest. And I am so behind the 8 ball on this. Does that mean late? Well, I think that just means you are set up for failure because you want to be behind the white ball, right? Okay. I sent out my typical invites to my friends and family to jump in on this stream, but I was pretty sure that nobody was coming in on this one because it's so late. It's almost 10 o'clock right now. Oh, Boise. Let's see. What else is going on? I heard that I saw something on Facebook or something that Bryan Cranston is allegedly penning a Malcolm in the Middle revival or reboot. Which is interesting. I loved Malcolm in the Middle. Not to mention my favorite band did like not only the theme song but the score for the show for at least the first 3 seasons. That's They Might Be Giants. And you know, Bryan Cranston, who's done Breaking Bad and like had all these big roles since. I'm surprised he's still interested in Malcolm in the Middle, that he'd be willing to like start it up himself. Who's the creator? Linwood Boomer of that show. There's a name. There's a name you punch your parents for giving you. Linwood Boomer. Boomer is his last name? That's weird. Whose last name is Boomer? I gotta look this guy up. I probably have in the past. Because like I say, I was a big Malcolm in the Middle guy. Linwood Boomer. It sounds fake. Linwood Boomer of the Montgomery Boomers. No, I'm just kidding. No mention of his name being like born Lester Peabody. Nothing like that. I'm led to believe that is his Christian name, as they say. Okay. Can you imagine what a Malcolm in the Middle reboot would be like? First of all, my understanding is Eric Persullivan, the kid that played Dewey, he's like not acting anymore, and he's kind of like out of the spotlight entirely. Kind of, he's a civilian now. More or less the same with Frankie Muniz. No, I think Frankie Muniz is back to trying to become a race car driver, or he was, and I thought he was before, and I think he's trying to make a go at that again right now. This is what I think I heard about him. Who knows whatever happened to the other kids? Francis, I haven't seen since. And he's the brother of Dude Man, who's gotten himself into some serious trouble. What are their names? Masterson. Danny Masterson is the guy from that 70s show. This guy is, I forget his name. Something Masterson. And then Jane Kasmerack, or whatever her name is, that played the mom. I mean, Lois and Hal were huge on that show. They were great. The parents. That show was something else. That was a funny show. Aw, did you see what I just did? I just did some stroke across the art. I'll let it dry and then I'll hit it with some white. I like the guy, the heavy guy, Craig, who worked with Malcolm's mom at the convenience store, and he was like secretly in love with her. And it's like he's been secretly in love with her like for seasons and seasons. And then finally he decides to like confess to her, and she just like tears his heart out. Like, what am I gonna run away with you? Leave my husband and my 4 kids? That, you know what I like about Malcolm in the Middle? It reminds me of it's kind of like Pete and Pete in a way, which I gotta watch because I always watch a couple of. I always watch the Halloweenies episode and the Time Tunnel episode this time of year. But I like it's like Pete and Pete to me, where it's live action, but it feels like a cartoon because everybody's such a character. Like there's Commandant Spangler, who's like what's his name? Francis's commanding officer at military school. He's got this eye. He's got an eye patch and a hook for a hand, and he's just. I don't know. Everybody's just like a straight up cartoon character. It feels like. There's Stevie, the kid in the wheelchair. That's Malcolm's like best friend, and he talks like this. I don't know. I think it's the first episode. They're walking to school or walking home from school or something, and you see like everybody in the neighborhood has these like bright green, perfectly manicured lawns, and then you get to Malcolm's house, and it's just straight brown grass and like all tattered and weedy and everything. There's toys in the yard. I mean, you know what I like about Malcolm in the Middle was like one of the only TV shows I've ever known my mom to like watch growing up. She didn't watch much TV at all when I was growing up, but she would watch Malcolm in the Middle because she she thought it was really funny. She felt like she could relate to it. And I think when she was first introduced to it, it was because my dad was like, "Oh, you gotta check this show out. You're gonna love it. The mom is just like you." So if you want to see what it was like living with my mom, it was kind of like living with Lois and Malcolm in the Middle. A little bit. My mom's Irish, so she had an accent. Oh, the other kid's name is on the tip of my brain. The kid that plays Reese. but I can't think of it. Was it Ryan something? I think it might be Ryan something. Oh, it is on the tip of my brain. I'm gonna look him up. I'm already on Linwood Boomer's page. Justin Burfield, not Ryan. Justin Burfield. Christopher Masterson was the other kid's name. That played Francis, the troublemaking older brother that didn't live with them. Okay. I'm calling it. Actually, no, I'm not. Let me fill this into Ink Slinger. Okay. Just nick up these machines and surfaces. Oh yeah, and then I gotta clean this little accident up. Here we go. Oh, I didn't even finish this dude's shoe. Okay. I'm calling it there, everybody. It's time to wind this day down. So I will. Maybe tomorrow will be a more productive day. Hopefully tomorrow will be a more productive day. I gotta bust my butt tomorrow. That's all I know. Especially on my Halloween costume. Dude, I should just start shaving this head of mine. That might be a good idea. That was my last passable haircut, I think. Before I just start being a bald guy, shaving it bald. All right. I'll be back tomorrow at some time. Tomorrow's prompt for Inktober is snack. So I gotta think on the prompt. Snack. And then some artistic advice. Always go to bed hungry. It's good for becoming a starving artist. Goodbye, everybody. I love you.